So shall we start?
Yeah, start.
Welcome back to the post-lunch session. Good afternoon to one and all present virtually. On behalf of Dr. NGP Arts and Science College and Atal FTP Organizing Committee, it is indeed a great pleasure to introduce our afternoon session guest of honor, Dr. M. Palanisamy, Scientist E, Botanical Survey of India, Southern Regional Center, TNU Campus, Coimbatore. Dr. Palanisamy obtained his MSc MPhil and Doctor of Philosophy in Annamalai University. He completed B.Ed in Bharathiar University. He started his research career as research scholar in Department of Botany, Annamalai University, Chidambaram, and continued as a SRF in Institute of Food Science and Technology, Bangalore. Sir worked as research associate in Central Salt and Marine Chemistry Research Institute, Gujarat. Then joined as Scientist B and C in Botanical Survey of India, Kolkata, and BSI Boat Player, Andaman Islands. Dr. Palanisamy has completed around 700 projects, namely Seaweeds of Mahatma Gandhi Marine National Park, South Andaman, Seaweeds of Chidayatapu, North Bay and Viper Islands, South Andaman, Seaweeds of Tamil Nadu, Southeast Coast of India, Diatoms of Scrimmacher Oasis, East Antarctica, Seaweed flora of Kerala, southwest coast of India. Seaweed flora of Karnataka, southwest coast of India. Seaweed flora of Goa coast. Dr. Palanisamy sir's ongoing funded projects are Marine Macroalgal Flora of India, and he is the principal investigator of outfunding project entitled Study of Diversity of Marine Microalgae of Andhra Pradesh, India. It is sponsored by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, New Delhi, under All India Coordinated Project on Capacity Building in Taxonomy Scheme. His research area of research are seaweeds and seagrass resources of Indian coastal region, especially its taxonomy and ecology of seaweeds and seagrass and its economical uses and Antarctic biodiversity. Sir is the team member of 23rd and 25th Indian Antarctic Expedition. Dr. Palanisamy had given over 30 invited lectures and presented his research work in more than 40 international seminars, conferences and workshops. He had published 3 books, 13 chapters and 37 research papers in reputed publishers. He had visited continents like South Africa and Antarctica for his research. Currently, he is supervising 3 PhD students and 1 was awarded under his guidance. He is an examiner for evaluating the MPhil and PhD thesis for various universities. He has organized 2 workshops entitled National Workshop cum Hands-on Training on Marine Macroalgal Taxonomy, sponsored by Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and National Workshop on Advanced Trends in Marine Macroalgal Taxonomy, Cultivation and Utilization. With this brief introduction, I would like to hand over the session to our eminent speaker. Sir, now the session is yours. Thank you.
Thanks for the wonderful introduction, and I welcome all of you to attend this program, for this post-session program. ATIC Training and Learning, that means ATAL, Academy Sponsored Faculty Development Program on Drug Engineering through Bioprospecting. Now today we are going to discuss about Indian seaweeds potential source for drug molecules, because we have all over the world millions of plants are available. In that, seaweeds also one of the parts. So that how we are utilizing and what are the benefits we are going to get from the seaweeds. So now we are going to discuss in that. The Botanical Survey of India is the foremost survey organization of the nation, connected in survey and inventarization of a floral diversity of India. The Botanical Survey of India, the mainly focused for collection, identification and making flora, conservation and give the importance of the plant products. So for this way, the Botanical Survey of India is the well-known organization, and it is each and everyone knows about the Botanical Survey of India's role. The BSI was established in 1890 with the objective of exploring the plant resource of the country and identifying plant species with economic values. historical events of BSI. Sir George King, who is the first director of the Botanical Survey of India in early stage. After that, they have given a lot of, they have opened lot of circles. Firstly, Northern Region Center, the Saharanpur. After that, Western Region Center, Pune. Then Southern Region Center in Madras. Now it is in Coimbatore. Then Eastern Region Center, Calcutta. So these are the centers earlier they started. After that, so many centers they have improved, and all over India we are having more than 15 centers at present. So after independence, because before that they have closed because due to some crisis or other things, no, so they have closed. Then after that they given chance to Janaki Ammal to reopen the rearrange the Botanical Survey of India, and Madam has given well established laboratories and all other things. Then after that, the Botanical Survey of India started frequent work, and they are doing a lot of work still now. These are the stations in all over India. That is, we headquartered in Kolkata, Andaman Nicobar Circle in Port Blair, Harry Jones Regional Center, Jodhpur, Arunachal Pradesh Regional Center, Itanagar, Central Regional Center, Allahabad, Deccan Regional Center, Hyderabad, Eastern Regional Center, Shillong, Northern Region Center, Dehradun, Sikkim, Himalaya Regional Center, Gangtok, Southern Region Center, Coimbatore, at present where I am working, Western Region Center, Pune, it is in western sides, and Himalayan altitude Western Himalayan Regional Center, Solan. The recently they be opened in high altitude Western Himalayan Regional Center in Solan. Then Central Botanical Laboratory, that is in Howrah, where in the Central National Herbarium is there, no? That is in Howrah. Industrial section in the Indian Museum, Kolkata. When Acharya Jagdish Chandra Bose Indian Botanical Garden in Howrah, where the biggest banyan trees available, no, that presented, that is in Acharya Jagdish Chandra Bose Botanical Garden in Howrah. Then Botanical Garden, Noida. It is in Republic Botanical Garden in Noida. We are having all these important places and important units also available in all over India. The main mandatory, that means objective of the BSI, the primary objectives on the exploration and inventory of the plant diversity. Why I am telling all these things means you have to know about the Botanical Survey of India. Then what is the role of BSI? So then only you come to know how the Botanical Survey of India collecting the plants and how identifying and how making flora. That flora how useful for the public. So that's why I am giving one by one for the initial stage. After that only we will go to the seaweeds. Then seaweeds uses and what are the extracts we are getting from seaweeds, how it will be useful for the pharmaceuticals and medicine uses. That and all I will give later. But now I am going to give the primary objectives of the BSI. Exploration and inventory of the plant diversity, documentation of floristic diversity in the form of flora, revision and monograph. These are the very, very important for the plant identification. Decisions of the herbarium, because all over India we are having more than 15 regional centers. In that we are having herbaria. Herbaria is the heart of the Botanical Survey of India, because whenever we are going for the collection, we have to make a herbaria and we have to keep in proper way and preserve and properly you have to maintain the herbariums. Then conservation of RET species, because due to the climate change or over exploitation, we are extincting the plants, and so that how to conserve that also we will discuss in this for in future purpose. Then exploration and expedition. So when we are going for plant collection or in marine or terrestrial, we have to go with the equipped team and the equipped materials. So like this, we have to go for the collections. Then secondary objectives, plant identification service to the research scholars. For example, now MSc students for dissertation purpose, they are doing their research, that means dissertation with the plants. So plants, whether it's higher plants or lower plants, whatever it may be, they are bringing the plants for the identification to get the authentic certificate. Without authentic certificates, it's not valid. So that's why they are bringing the plants for identification to the Botanical Survey of India. Okay, except conservation of red listed threatened taxa in botanical gardens. Then environmental impact assessment, EIA. For example, when we are making the roads or when we are making the dams and when we are making the other factories and all, so that area had to go to the the particular place, and you have to see the plants. What are the plants? Any keystone species are available, or any other important plants are there. So that you have to measure, and you have to give the report to the Ministry of Inland Forestry. After that only, they will give the permission to the concerned departments to construct a dam and to construct a road, to construct factories and all other things for these things. That is very, very important assignment to the Botanical Survey of India. Preparation of pollen and seed atlas of Indian plants, because these are very important. Because, for example, thousands years or 2000s or millions years ago, what are the plants are available presented in the Indian scenario? So that now you will not get the same plants. So when you are having the pollen atlas or seed atlas, so definitely you can find out these are the plants earlier it is presented. So now it is declined. That means it is extinct. So in that way, this pollen atlas and seed atlas are very, very important. For in future also it will be useful. For example, dinosaur you take. Now we are only seeing the photograph. So that means drawings. So like that, if you are having this pollen atlas and all other things, so it will be useful for the future people. So that means in our future generations. Capacity building training program in plant taxonomy and herbarium methodology. For example, for colleges, the lab technicians and other people are there. No, for them also we are giving capacity building training program in plant taxonomy and herbarium methodology, and ethnobotanical study, documentation of traditional important plants. So these are very, very important because, for example, these ethnobotanical studies are very important because our forefathers or our earlier peoples used to use the plants for the remedy of all kind of disease. So that's why this ethnobotanical study is very, very important. So these kind of works are coming under secondary objectives of Botanical Survey of India. These are the things we are doing regularly. Then capacity building training, also, I told you, these are programs we used to give for the college students and field lab technicians and other peoples we used to give. All over India, that means, for example, 5.5 million species exist all over the world. That means in the earth. However, merely 1.7 million have been identified so far. Because what are the species available, that is very difficult to identify so far. So only 1.7 million have been identified so far. Around 4,27,205 species of green plants, fungi, bacteria, and the virus so far identified. 61,719 species of vertebrates and protozoates are identified so far. 12,32,490 species of vertebrates, including these are identified. India is one of the 12 mega diversity country of the world. 10th among plant rich country. You see, India is a 12 mega biodiversity country. In that is one of the 12. In that we are having one place. Then 10 among plant rich countries. So all over the world, in that question is our 10th question we are having. So 11 in the number of endemic species of higher vertebrates. Then 103 national parks we are having, and 543 wildlife sanctuaries we are having. Then 18 conservation resources we are having. In plant kingdom, we are having two major groups, that is cryptogams and phanerogams. You know very well, phanerogams are flowering plants and cryptogams non-flowering plants. In non-flowering plants, we have thallophytes, bryophytes, pseudophytes. In flowering plants, angiosperm and gymnosperm. In the thallophytes, algae, fungi, lichens. In algae, microalgae and marine macroalgae, we are having two groups. So now we are going to talk about the algae only, specifically in algae. So just I given the introduction about the plants and how it will be and how accumulated or spread in all over the world, and India wise also I have given. This is worldwide, how many species are available in worldwide and India wide, just one numerical database I am here. Flowering plants, gymnosperm all over the world, 1021 species are available all over the world. Angiosperms, 268,600 species are available all over the world. In India, 74 plants of gymnosperms are there, that means species. Then 18,043 species are available in India, that is angiosperms. That means percentage wise 7.35% and 6.72% in the all over plants are there, in that the percentage is there. Then number of endemic species in all over India, 8. That means in gymnosperm. In angiosperm, 4,036 species are available. Then the number of threatened species all over in India, that is in gymnosperm 7, then angiosperm 1,700. Then non-flowering plants, bryophytes, in worldwide 13,236 plants are there. Then pteridophytes, 12,000 plants are there. In India, 2,523 species are there in bryophytes. In pteridophytes, 1,267. That is percentage is there. Then this number of endemic species, 629. Then 47 species pteridophytes. In bryophytes, 629. This is the threatened species, approximately 80. Then it is pteridophytes, 414. Then virus and bacteria, algae, it is in 40,000 all over the world, 44,000. Then here in India, 7,284 species are available. In that, in all over, if you are considering this 18.21%, then this is in endemic 1,924. Why I am telling all these things now? When this endemic, if you are knowing, when you are doing research in India, so you will get good benefit compared to the that means in alien species. No need to depend on the alien species. So you have to go for the indigenous species. Means what are species available only in the India. That means identified, and we are first reported in this. So this is growing very nicely. Then after that, it might spread to other places. So that are the endemic to the particular area only it will be available. Then the threatened species of the fungi means it is 580 are there. Then total fungi available in worldwide it is 98,998. Then in India 14,883. The lichens all over the world 17,000. In India 2,401 species are available. So the importance of the plants. Ecological role of plants, economic role of plants, then aesthetic role of plants, then scientific role of plants. You are knowing very well about the ecological role of plants and the economic role, because from aliens to now we are using the plant for our shelter, food, clothes and medicine, all other things we are using. Then aesthetic means for our excitement and you are going for the parks and all other things, conservation study and all other things. Then scientific role means how we are evoluted, when we have evolution studies and all and other things, we are using this type of studies. For this ecological role of plants, all species provided some kind of function to an ecosystem. They can capture and store energy, produce organic material, decompose organic materials, help to recycle water and nutrients throughout the ecosystem, control erosion or pests, fix atmospheric gases and help regulate climate. Importance of ecosystem function and human survival. The loss of a species is thus like to decrease the ability of the system to maintain itself or to recover from damage or disturbance. An ecosystem which high biodiversity may have a greater change of adaptation to environmental changes. You know very well about the food chain of marine ecosystem and terrestrial ecosystem and fauna ecosystem and all. So these are very, very important for the our conservation. That means your food production and degradation, all other purposes. These are the plants are very, very important. Micro to macro, I am telling here. Then aesthetic, already told you, it is related to beauty of biodiversity, the fresher, excitement and visual piece of any area. Concept of eco-tourism and willingness to pay area, the grounds leading to momentary aesthetic for aesthetic value of biodiversity. It includes bird watching and other things. So that means the forests are very, very important and the plants are very important for this aesthetic role here. Then economic role of plants for food, medicines, then other you can see this penicillins and all other medicines. No, we are useful for, we are using the plants from the ancient period. So now we are developed countries. We are having lot of factories. For that, we are having proper sources from the plants, whether it is cultivated or it is natural. That and all we are using for the getting all advanced medicines and all other purpose. We are using the plants. So these are the plant materials useful for the economic role of the biodiversity. Then scientific role of biodiversity or scientific role of the plants. Each species can give scientists some clue as to show the life evolved and will continue to evolve on Earth. Diversity helps scientists understand how life functions and the role of each species in sustaining ecosystem. The survival and well-being of the present day human population depends on several substances obtained from plants and animals. The nutritional need of mankind are also met by wild and domestication animal and plant species. Indeed, this biodiversity in wild and domesticated from is the source for most of humanity's food, medicine, clothes, and housing. Much of the cultural diversity and most of the intellectual and spiritual inspirations. We are using plants. That means the plants role the four main criteria. So now we are so plants are useful for this four type of main criteria. In that, algae, how it will be useful and potential, all are things. Algae is mainly two groups, that is microalgae and macroalgae. It will grow in fresh water and marine water and other habitats also. For eukaryotic primitive form of organisms in plant kingdom, chlorophyll bearing autotrophic thalloid plant body ranging from unicellular to multicellular forms, and lack of true root, stem, leaves, vascular tissue and jacket layer. Mostly atmospheric, almost a few mixophytic. That means autotrophic, although few mixotrophic. Then the habitats, aquatic algae, freshwater and marine water. That freshwater means, for example, Pinularia, that is diatoms. Then marine, Caulerpa and Sargassum and all other species. Those in all over world is more than 11,000 species are available in marine forms. Terrestrial algae, most of so it is wherever the moistures are there, so it will grow on plants or rocks and other areas also. It will grow very nicely. Then algae of unusual habitats. For example, ice and other places also it will grow. Fringe water, that means hot water area also it will grow. That is unusual habitats. Halophytic conditions, then so the symbiotic association, then thermophilic, then endozoic inside the algae or inside animals also it will grow. Then lithophytic in stones also it will grow. Then cryophytic also. Cryophytic means that is in your ice prone area. Then the general structure: unicellular, colonial, filamentous, and heterotrichous, and parenchymatous and cenozytic. Cenozytic means in Wucheria. Then unicellular means Pinularia. Then colonial means Volvox, you know very well. The filamentous means Sargassum. So many are there. So we will see after what are those things. Then cell wall compounds. In algae made up this one, that means cell wall, a lot of cell walls. The cell wall is compounds is cellulose, galactans and mannans. The pigments chlorophyll A, B, C, carotenoids and phycobilins. Then reserve food materials: carbohydrates, fat, lipid and oils, nitrogen gases and organic materials. Reproduction: vegetables, asexual and sexual. Because if you are knowing all these things, means you can come to know which season, which area, which species we can collect, and what are the raw materials are available in surrounding areas and all, you know. Then which materials will get very good compounds. So that's why I am giving all these things. Then critical for classification. Yes, criteria, because the algal classification is very critical, and that's why some criteria are there for algal classification. Chemical and physical feature of the cell wall, the nature and property of pigments, habitat, size, morphological characters of a cell, thalli. So the number of flagella and their insertion. Then reproductive behavior and reserved food materials. These are very, very important criteria for classification the algae. Then the famous phycologist, that is the father of world phycologist, F.E. Fritsch, proposed the classification of algae. He is the father of algology in the worldwide. He proposed this book called Structure and Reproduction of Algae, Volume 1 and 2. He took more than 20 years to publish this 2 volumes. That means he had been depth and he brought these things, and each and everyone how to be. Suppose if you are an algologist, so it is very, very important. You have to have this book, whether it is Xerox copy or a original book. It is very, very important to identify the plants and study the algae. And the distribution all over the world, it is 70,500. In India, 7,375 species available. In that 72,500, only 40% are so far identified. In India, we are having, so that means these are the families and these are the genera. That is in Cyanophyceae, 19 families are there. Chlorophyceae, 64 families, and Xanthophyceae, 3 families. Chloromonidae, 12, and Chrysophyceae, 17, and Eugleophyceae, 2, Thaliophyceae, 12 family, and Rhodophyceae, 41 family, Basidiophyceae, 64 family, Rhinophyceae, 19 family, and Chrysophyceae, 2 family. In genera, the biggest is in Chlorophyceae, and the second one is in Rhodophyceae, third one is Cyanophyceae, and Basidiophyceae also it is in third, and the fourth position is in Cyanophyceae. The seaweeds are the potential marine living resource in the world. Now we are coming to our seaweed, Indian seaweed and potential source for drug molecules. The seaweed are the potential marine living resource in the world. In the recent period, a total of 72,500 algal species, including varieties and fauna, recorded, of which about 44,000 species are scientifically identified and reported. You can see in green 2012 years given the this current picture. Among them, seaweeds consist of about 11,000 species, which includes Rhodophyceae, 7,200 species, followed by Phaeophyceae, 2,000 species, and Chlorophyceae, 1,018 species. All over world it is available. In that, some of the 221 is commercially utilized all over the world, which is included 141 species, 145 species for food and 110 species for hydrochloride production and drug extraction. Various natural antimicrobial compounds have been recorded in the marine environment more than those in the terrestrial one. That means terrestrial here we can get more. That means in marine environment we get more percentage of antimicrobial compounds. Due to the cost-effective and potential hazardous advanced efforts of drugs, researchers have paid their attention on the seaweeds in search of therapeutic compounds. Introduction to the marine macroalgae. Marine macroalgae, known as seaweeds, adapted to survive in marine and marine surrounding area. Here, this is very, very important because where we can get the seaweeds. So, it is in the marine environment we will get. Multicellular, that means this is microorganism to macro level. For example, single cell to multi-cell. Single cell means acetobulera. The entire thallus is a single cell. That is one cell, single cell only, one cell only. So it is acetobulera, and multi-cell means macrocystis. That means more than 60 meters or 100 meters will grow. Multicellular, microscopic, thallophytic, non-muscular plant body. Usually epilithic, that means it is attached to the other things and grow on the solid substratum such as rocks, bedrocks, pebbles, mollusk shells, dead rocks, and unusual man-made structures. When you are going to the coastal regions, a coastal region people knows very well where rocks are there, where the man-made structures are there, or to protect the sea erosion, there we are making the so walls and man-made rocks are there. So there this attach very nicely and grow very nicely. So then habits on and habitats of seaweeds depend on the ecological factors such as pH, temperature, salinity, turbidity, dissolved oxygen, biological BOD, and tide, water, current, substratum, nutrient content in seawater, associated flora and fauna diversity, etc. So these are very, very important for the seaweed diversity. That means habitat and habitats are very important. Then consequence of these factors results the variation found in the seaweed distribution, abundance, richness, growth, storage of reserve food materials, morphological and anatomical modulation, size, pigmentation. These are very, very important. Then differentiation into three parts, that is hold fast. Hold fast is it is holding the plant. Then stripe, it is anchoring, that means erect the plants. Then fronds, these are the photosynthetic or storing the food materials. This is for erection the thallus, that is a stripe. This anchoring means hold fast. The seaweeds are totally three parts are having: hold fast, stripe, and fronds. Fronds are useful for the photosynthetic purpose. Then classification into three classes. The seaweeds are classified into the three classes based on the pigments, reserve food materials, mode of reproduction. Then first is chlorophyceae, green algae. The second one is phaeophyceae, brown algae, coloring brown. Then third is rhodophyceae, red algae. Reproduction, vegetative, asexual reproduction. Then this that means production of spores. Then the asexual, sexual diffusion of the gametes. Then the reserve food materials, these are lipids, oil, and protein, and carbohydrate, and all other things are the reserve food materials. Three group of seaweeds. I already told you what are the pigments, what are the reserve food material, and examples. Just you can see over here. The green, that means chlorophyceae. Pigments, chlorophyll A and B. Reserve food means starch. Then example, alva, your Astroploria, and Kalarpa, and other, so many are there. That means all over India we are having 212 species are there. Then brown algae, that phaeophyceae, pigments, chlorophyll A and C, phycoxanthin. So reserve food material, mannitol, laminarian. Then example, Pedaina, Sargassum, Turbinaria. These are very, very important species of brown seaweeds. Red seaweeds, pigments, chlorophyll A and D, carotene, and phycoerythrin, phycocyanin. These are the very important pigments for the red algae. Then reserve food is protein, starch, and other again all other things are there. Then the reserve food materials. Then examples, Gracilaria, Gelidium, and your Hypnium, all your Capapicus and all other economically important seaweeds are coming under this red seaweeds. The common comparative character of seaweeds, for example, chlorophyceae, phaeophyceae, rhodophyceae. These are the main habitat, how it will be, then habitat, how it will be, then cell wall, then photosynthetic apparatus, then primary pigments, then storage food material, flagella. For example, when you are going for the chlorophyceae members, habit means validum, that where we are living, that is a habit. Sorry, habit means, how we are, that is habit. Habitat means where we are living. For example, unicellular to microscopic, then multicellular plant body. So this means habit, how we are. Then habitat means where we are living. That means found both in freshwater as well as marine water. Cell wall, cellulose. Then the photosynthetic apparatus means chloroplast with 2 to 6 thylakoids. The 5 pigments, chlorophyll A and B. Storage food materials, true starch. Then flagella 1, 2 or 4 equal is flagellas are there. Then we are coming to the phaeophyceae, unicellular to giant kelp. I already told you for a habit. That habitat usually grow in marine condition only. The habitat only in marine country farm only it will be available more. Then cell wall is a cellulosic with alginic and fusionic acids. Photosynthetic apparatus on the chromatophore with 3 thylakoids. Then primary pigments, chlorophyll A, C, and picoxanthin. Already I told you this flagella to unequal and lateral. Then when you are coming to the rhodophysis members, maximum species macroscopic, and few are in unicellular. Commonly found at marine habitat, rarely in freshwater. Non-cellulosic and polysaccharides. Then chromatophore with single thylakoids. Chlorophyll A, D, phycocyanin and phycoerythrin. Then fluoride starchy, absent here, and the flagella and absent. Here flagella is absent. In the marine macroalgal numeric. In all over the world, how many? And India, how many? Then seaweeds are the green, brown, red. How many in all over world? It is in all over world. In green algae, already told you 18,000 are available. In red, 7,200. Brown algae 2,000. In India, it is 212 green algae, and red algae 442, and brown algae 211. Sorry, 211. That is all over in India. 806 species are available. Family. 19 green in the family in green seaweeds, 19 families are there. In red seaweeds 33, and in brown seaweeds 13 are there. In the green algae 46 genera are there, and in red algae 138 green algae green genera are there. Then in brown algae 50 genera are there. Total genera is 234 genera in all over India. Then the status of seaweed reported in India. That means in a state wise. In West Bengal, only 14 species are available. In Odisha, 21 species are there. In Andhra Pradesh, and at present myself and my student, 134 species we recorded. Earlier only 80 species they have given. In Tamil Nadu, 421 species are there. In Kerala, myself and Yadav recently published a very good book, that is Seaweeds of Kerala. We have published that is 147 species published by Botanical Survey of India. In the 2020 we published. It is available for sale. It is available. It is fully picturized, and we have given full description, and economic importance also we have given there in Kerala. Then Karnataka, 108 species myself and Yadav we reported. It is in publication mode. In Goa, it is almost 141, but it is they have given here 145 means freshwater and microalgae they have given, but myself and Yadav we have recorded more than 115 species. Then Maharashtra, 204 species, 240 species recorded. In Gujarat, 198, and myself with other peoples we have recorded 151 with that means Kamboj and one more students. Total 3 members. It is sale is available. The Gir Foundation, they are selling it in Gujarat Gir Foundation. It is very good book, and fully picturized. All 151 having a full fledged picture, and uses of the algae also we have given over there. The publication 2019 we have published that book. Andaman Nicobar Islands 79, but myself I have recorded 112 species. Then this Lakshadweep 111 species are recorded by Kaliurmeta in 1989. Then the Jew and Daman, there is 70 species so far they have recorded. Then numerical account on the dominant genus of marine mackerel in India. So why I am giving here this picture numerical domination means, so what are the genera? It is dominated in Indian coastlines. Alva, Chaetomarpa, Cladabora, Kalarpa, Codium, Dictyota, Pedaina, Sargassum, Turbinaria. That means Alva, Chaetomarpa, Cladabora, Kalarpa, Codium. These are coming under green algae. Dictyota, Pedaina, Sargassum, Turbinaria. These are coming under brown algae. This is brown algae. Then Lyagora, Gracilaria, Hypnea, Ceramium, Laurentia, these are coming under red algae. These are the species, these are the genera dominated in Indian coastal region. So why I am giving here, this species you can select, and you can do a lot of your research for drug-oriented research. Nature of the Indian coastline here. India has a coastline of 7,500 kilometers, you know very well, including all these union territories, our Indian coastal states, and your islands, and surrounded by Arabian Sea in the west, Bay of Bengal in the east, and Indian Ocean in the southern region. Occupying only 8% of the total surface, they account for 2 to 20% of the global plant growth. Just imagine over here, only 8% of the area gives 20 to 20% of the global plant growth, including the Andaman Nicobar Islands and the Lakshadweep Islands. And the intertidal and subtidal regions with rocky and coralline substrate harbor support luxuriant growth of the seaweeds. Already I told you where it grows nicely, that means a habitat. Here intertidal and subtidal region with rocky and coralline substrate harbor support luxuriant growth of the seaweeds. Indian coastline data already told you over there. And these are the places, east coast and west coast. That means 9 coastal states: Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala. These are the west coast. Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, West Bengal is east coast. Then Union Territory, Diu Daman, Pondicherry, Andaman Nicobar, and Lakshadweep Island. These are Union Territories. And North Indian coastline of a west exposed on surf and rocky source, whereas in the east coast, east of beaches, lagoons, deltas and marshes only in east coast. These are the main places you will get more biomass of biomass as well as species wise. From west, Oka, Veraval, Dwaraka, Gobinath and Jayu, Gulf of Kutch, in Mumbai, Goa, Karwar, Kannur, Alapi, then Quilon, Valencium, Muttam, then Kanyakumari, then Idinakarai, Trichandur, Tuticorin, Mandapam, Port Nova, that Port Blair, sorry, Port Nova means your Paramipete, Mahabalipuram, Chennai, Kovalam, Pulikat Lake, Visakhapatnam, Chilka Lake. Then these are the main places where you will get more marine macroalgae for your research purpose. These are some natural habitat of Goa coast. Where had been to Goa coast, these are the places you will get for Kusitra coast. Then this your Narar coast and your Veraval. Then your other places, Veraval, these are the main places, Gobinath and all. So very good places are there. But pilgrimage, Dwaraka, Oka, Dwaraka, these are the places available in Gujarat. And tourist places also there, and very good collections, because compared to other places, first place is in Gulf of Mannar, we will get more biodiversity. Second is in Gujarat coast, Gulf of Kutch, and other places will get more biodiversity of marine macroalgae. The natural coast of this is nature of the Goa coast. So this is a beautiful coast, but I have given only where the seaweeds are available. But it is a people used to like for the very good coast, and they will go and enjoy. But here I have not given where the seaweeds are growing. That place only I have given. Here more than 115 pieces we record myself and Sudhu Kumari Yadav. Then the Karnataka coast. Karnataka also a very nice place for tourism as well as seaweed growth. Here we have recorded 108 species in the in our collections. Very nice places are there in the Karnataka coastal region. And then this nature of the Kerala coast. Kerala coast everyone like and to tourism attracting place. Here from west to south, no, it is very nice. And in second place for the tourism development, in second place it is coming, and a lot of species are there. 147 species we recorded, and very nicely we have drive, and we have given the description. Everything is there. Then some other places for the very good collection in the Kerala coast. For example, Nindakara and your Tikkodi, and then this one Valencium, and all other important places are there in the Kerala coastal region. Kerala peoples can go there, and the nearby peoples, for example, Maharashtra peoples will come, and Maharashtra, Karnataka, these peoples are go and visit the Kerala coastal region. You can collect it. The Kerala also, Karnataka also, and Maharashtra also very good seaweeds are there. But here the waves wise and other things, no, is nice, and you can get a very good species over here. These are the Kerala coastal regions. You will get a very good. This is Tikkodi coastal region. We will get a very good species. Then Tamil Nadu coast, everyone knows because this from Kanyakumari to Pulicat, that means Pulicat Lake, no, will get very good places for the seaweed collection. This Kanyakumari, Tuticorin, and your Point Calimere, and then the Kadalur, then this Pondicherry, then Mahabalipuram, then this Pulicat Lake, no, will get a lot of species. Then your marine biosphere reserve, Gulf of Mannar, that is a paradise for the algae and other plants and other animals, no. So there we will get more than 300 to 400 species at a time. That means in particular area we will collect. Then these are some islands we will get that, because when you are coming to the Gulf of Mannar, no, so 21 islands are there. So I had been there, have collected the specimens over there. So these are some plants collected from Andaman Nicobar Islands, this terpinol. Then these are the Pondicherry. This is your red algae and green algae where it's mixed. No, that is I collected from Pondicherry. So this Caphapexus alvarezi in this one, your Mandapam region, they are cultivating artificially and they are drying for export purpose. The seaweed culture mainly for preparing herbarium and all other purposes used to go like this, and but it's very difficult because waves are unpredictable. Immediately it will come big waves, and we have to take precaution for these things. We have to collect, and we used to board for collections and all. These for collection parameters. Just I'm telling. These are all very important, because without your collection procedures, you can't collect the seaweed material for your scientific purpose. And the nature of the Andhra Pradesh coast. These are Andhra Pradesh, the second biggest coastline, because the first one is west coast, that is in Gujarat coast, is more than 1,600 kilometers. But this is Andhra Pradesh is 1,160 kilometers length is there. But it is maximum sandy coast. Only few. That means in 3 districts: Vizag, Srikakulam, and this is your Vijayanagaram. These 3 districts are rocky coastal regions. Remaining are sandy coast. Some places are small patches are there. But when you are coming to the this one, your Prakasam and your Kakinada and your Nellore district, no, so entirely your sandy coast. There also will get a very good. This is we are collected more than 136 species, but it is in press mode. These are some important places in Andhra Pradesh coastal regions. Mixed seaweed vegetation on calcifer rocks at Bandarivani coast. That means in your Srikakulam district. Then luxuriant growth of Alva, Compressa, and Pedaina, Bhovanika at Bhimlipattinam coast. When you are going towards after Visakhapatnam coastal region, so we'll get this Bhimlipattinam. Then seaweeds on the dissected coarse rock beds, Mukkam. So when you are going to this Mukkam Mandala, so that rocks are eroded and it will be different ways, it will be there. Then the algal biomass at Mulapeta backwater area, and these are your Vilengium, that means in Visakhapatnam area. So Visakhapatnam, I told, if I told Vilengium, it is Visakhapatnam coastal area. Then this is in Visakhapatnam coastal region, Mangamari Peta. So these are some example for green seaweeds. The first one is, you can see how it will be. You are Chaetomorpha species. Then this is your Virus Corbusi and your Podium species. This is a Halimeda species. These are some other species available in coastal area of the Indian coastal region. Then these are your Kalarpha species. This is Enteromorpha species. Sorry, this is Enteromorpha and this is Chaetomorpha species. And your this is some other species of the green seaweeds in the Indian coastline. So these are the brown seaweeds available in the Indian coastal region, Pedaina and Sarcospermum and this Cunospora, then this Cunospora and your Terpinaria and Soches marginatum, this Spathoclasma asperum. These are available in Indian coastal regions, good biomass. Then these are some red seaweeds available in Indian coastal regions, but we are having more than 400 species, but some are dominant species over there, and it will look nice and it will be useful for a more economic value as well as medicinal value. These are other red seaweeds available in Indian coastal region. So this scientific work is very less in this, particularly in these seaweeds. For protocol for the taxonomy study, protocol for seaweed taxonomy study. First, what you have to do, schedule for field 2. Schedule for field 2 means what you have to do is, before going to the field, you have to see the climate, we have to focus the place, then what are the places you have to collect, and how it will be the population and all other things. So that and all you have to pre-plan. You have to go before going. Then you have to arrange your dress material and your shoe material and your collection material and other for camera, your GPS and all. You have to get it the schedule for the field 2. Then collection. When you are having very good low tide period, so that time, that means you need a tide table also, very important. So that when the rain is very less and the wind speed is very less and the tide is very low, so that time you have to go for the collections. Then after the collection, you have to preserve, because these algal metals are very precious and very delicate, because it will brittle nature. So that's why during the collection itself, you have to wash thoroughly in the filtered seawater, and you have to make the herbarium in the particular collection period place itself. That means the precious status. Then after that, we have to come to the laboratory. In laboratory, what we have to do is, we have to go for the sectioning the thallus. Then we have to see the anatomical studies under the microscope. Then description. With the anatomical characters, we can go for the description. Then herbarium consultation. Once you are not able to, once you are having all these parameters and all, no? So after that, you have to compare with the known species. For example, the Madras Herbarium MHE, we are having more than 3 lakh specimens are there. In that, we are having more than 15,000 collections of marine macroalgae. We have identified very nicely. So with that unidentified specimens, we have to match with that. Then we can find out the specimens. Oh, this is this. So like that only we can identify. Then reference or online resources also. Online also nowadays we are getting very good links. So that means macroalgal herbarium and lot of websites are there for the identification of the marine macro. That also we can use for the identification of the marine macroalgae. Then importance of the seaweeds. Now we are coming to the line and we are going for the exact picture of the this program. Seaweeds are the potential marine living resource in the world. Seaweeds play a major role in the marine ecosystem. As the first organism in the marine food chain, they provide nutrition and energy for animals, either directly when prawns are eaten, or indirectly when decomposing part break down into fine particles and are taken up by filter feeding animals. For example, you take the microorganisms. Microorganisms, it will observe the more nutrients or that digesters, these things are there, no? So in that decomposed matters are there, no? In that it will observe the nutrients and it will take that all the microbes are taken or eaten by the second quality fish or the other animals. It will take. Then from that it will go for the cyclic. That means a food web. It will be there. So like that. Then they are important nourishes for many commercial species such as the rock lobster and other animals are there all over in coastal regions. No? So a lot of animals are there. So that and all this that means why I am telling over here means the algae are primary producers. From that only, whether it is primary, secondary producer or tertiary producers or the this one, the other end producer. So they are using this as a marine macro as a food source. In the recent years, varieties of healthcare products like lotions, bath gels, shampoo, soaps, creams, and pharmaceutical components are being produced from the seaweeds. China and Japan are the two major seaweed harvesting countries. Now we started for cultivation and harvesting the seaweeds. In Western countries also, now this Western countries also, now they started for the cultivating the seaweeds. But compared to China and Japan, other countries are very less because they are getting millions and millions of amount from the seaweed farming. Production of oxygen. For example, the total oxygen, out of the total oxygen, 70% of the oxygen to the atmosphere produced by the marine plants. Remaining 30% produced by the yet other organisms. The oxygen, the ocean produce oxygen through the plants. For example, that means phytoplankton, kelp, seaweed, seagrass, and mangroves. That means the marine and marine surrounding area, they are giving 70% of the oxygen to the atmosphere. They produce oxygen as a byproduct of the photosynthesis. Everyone knows photosynthesis is the carbon dioxide and sunlight absorbed by the pigments of the plant, and it will release the oxygen and storing the food material carbohydrates. So in that way, we are getting very good oxygen from plant material. That means the oxygen is a very oxygen emitted by the plants. Marine food and fodder from marine community. Seaweed has a chlorophyll to do photosynthesis in the ocean. It is an atmospheric species. Autotrophic species, it produces energy and food for itself. Seaweed provide food for another marine mammal. For example, cow, sea cow and all it is there. So that and all the animals are using as a seaweed as a food. And we are giving seaweed food to the our cattle feed and poultry farm and all. We are giving as a food to the animals, especially for herbivorous animals that only eat herb like as a algae, seagrass, and other marine plants. Therefore, the existence of seaweed in marine ecosystem has an important function. This one already I told you, the primary producer, secondary producer, and tertiary, and the final this consumers. So this is the that means the maintenance regulation of the marine biodiversity. Then here macroalgae association. Suppose if you are collecting one macroalgae, when in the filtered water, if you are thoroughly washing and washing, then you filter the water, you will find out millions and millions of microbes. So in that way, in common, macroalgae are colonized by microorganisms. The macroalgae micro relationship is attributed for many purposes. Then seaweed as habitat. Already I told you, millions and millions of microbes and small animals and big animals are hiding in the seaweeds. Provide nutrition and shelter to diverse group of invertebrates. Increase the amount of space for attachment of sessile organisms. Provide protection for environmental conditions such as wave action. Already I told you all these things. So these and all, the seaweeds are very, very important for marine animals for protection, shelter, and breeding ground and food purpose. It is very, very useful for the marine animals and microbes and other phytoplanktons and zooplanktons. Then bioindicator of marine chemicals damage. Suppose when you are going to the coastal region, you can see the blooms, because that means this particular area receiving or discharged by the domestic sewage, it is dumped in the particular area. So that's why these bloomings are there. This is a very good indicator. So that means these are coming under uses, I am telling. That's why I am giving. The agricultural waste, industrial waste, aquacultural waste, household waste, and other enter the ocean at every time. bring a lot of material like as a nutrition into the ocean. So already told, that means the sea is receiving all the unwanted materials to the coastal regions. So that's why the sea is blooming in when the nutrients are more and more. So it automatically bloom. So it will give sometimes to the threat to the animals as well as the plants. Then we all, that means that is the indicator. So that means no need to go to the particular place. That's why it is a very good indicator. We call the situation as blooming of algae, because algal blooms are useless also there, very dangerous also is there. Blooming algae is a bio indicator of marine chemical damages. Okay. Then the situation occur due to nutrition unbalance. I already told you. Waves increase some nutrition and spur seaweed growth, consuming seaweed to bloom in the ocean. These are all for nutrition purpose. I am just whether it is more nutrition are there, so that time it will problematic and this one. So blue carbon sequencing by seaweed, seagrass and mangrove. These are the blue carbon sequence. That means they are absorbing the blue carbons 80%, and it will give storage in the sea in the bottom. That means 60%, 40 to 60% it will storage in there, because once it is storage means all other microbes, organisms and other are absorb for the photosynthetic purpose, and it will give the very good product to the other that means other products. It will go to the marine animals as well as the plants. That means these are the blue carbon dating species over there. Then seaweed aquaculture for climate change adaptation. For example, when we are going to the coastal regions, there a lot of problems were there. So for that, what we have to do is for erosion and all waves, high waves, this and all, to protect all these things, we have to grow more and more seaweeds. Seaweeds are different kind of cultivations are seaweed cultivation methods are there. For that, we have to adapt for how we have to do the seaweed cultivation. All we have to follow the different kind of seaweed cultivation methods. By creating coastal habitats, seaweed aquaculture can potentially contribute some of the ecosystem functions that natural kelp, forest and macroalgal beds support. I already told you. For a second picture is there. No? So that will protect the high waves and some other unwanted wave, this thing. So it will protect the coastal regions. Then, for example, the canopies of formed seaweeds, like those of wild seaweeds, dampen wave energy and hence serve as live coastal protection structure, buffering against coastal erosion. I already told all these things. So that means 60% of the things we are protecting from the seaweeds. Then the observing nutrients. When the unwanted nutrients are plenty of coastal regions, it is accumulated. No? So that the ecoration we call, no? So that these plants are absorbing, and the plant we can use for manure purpose, then mineral purpose and all. No? We are collecting and drying, and we are recycling and use it for the manure purpose and mineral purpose and other food purpose and all. No? We are using, and all over world we are using these plants for a lot of economical purpose. Then ecoration, because this cultivation and all other things. Then this is representation of the pathogen. When the unwanted things are there now, so there we can find out the dangers of the organism, and it will indicate that means this area is dangerous, and here what are the plants and all. No? So it is affected by the some disease like that. Okay, host and preventing the platform. So here, when we are going to the deep sea and all, no, where there is a temperate region, so there meters and meters of plants are grow. That means this brown algae for your microcystis and Durvilia and all, it will grow very long, more than 60 meter. It will long. So in that area, from the predator, this all animals go and hide in that particular areas. So that means these are the host for the marine animals and mammals and all. So from the predators, these all animals, whether it's small or big, whatever it may be, so these are escaping from the predators. So that's why it is host or home for the sea animals. So now these are the marine macroalgal products, that means uses, bio perspectives of the seaweeds. Globally 250 seaweeds are economically important and commercially utilized in the various forms. 145 pieces for food, fodder, and 110 pieces for phycocolloid production, of which 125 pieces are from India. That means total 250 pieces all over world it is there now. From that we are getting economically important and commercially utilized farms now. In that 125 pieces are available in Indian coastal region. So for you see agricultural purposes, that means your pesticides and fertilizer and tonic, that means yield improving tonic and all. So that purpose we are using seaweed extracts as a seaweed fertilizer, seaweed liquid fertilizer, pesticides and seaweed tonic. And then this biotechnology purpose for your agar-agar, when we are extracting agar-agar from the red seaweed cell walls, so that will be useful for the your agar medium preparation, and biotechnology and tissue culture laboratory and all, we are using that one. Then we are coming for phyco remediation and bioplastics, so that purpose also we are using this algal these things. Then cosmetics, nowadays lot of seaweeds are using for the cosmetic preparation, and that is the natural products. That will be, it will not give any side effect, it will nice for the things compared to the synthetic one. It is very nice. Then fodder we are using for fodder for your cattle feed and this your your poultry farm and all we are using. And now we are getting very good milk from the Jersey cows now. So for that we are using this fodders, and we are, these for the coating. It will improve the protein content also. So that's why here we are using this seaweed as a coated on the seaweed fodder, cattle fodder. Then the biofuel. Now they started to for ethanol, wherever the ethanol is more there in the seaweeds. So now we are getting the very good biofuel. When you are going for the foreign, that means in a temperate region, there this very big for this your Dermelia and Alaria, then your macrocystis and your this sargassum and all, it will grow meters and meter contents of there. So that we have to, what we have to do is, when we have to dump in the particular area, then we have to go for a fermentation, and we will get a biofuel very nicely, and we can utilize that things. But by biofuels, when that means methanol and ethanol will get it. From that we have to convert it into the biofuel. So that technology they have developed, now they have started. Then food and bakery and industries. That also, for example, you are aware of proteins and carbohydrates are we are getting from the green seaweeds also, as well as red seaweeds and brown seaweeds, alginates and all other things we are getting from the brown seaweeds. These are all useful for the food and bakery industries. Then pharmaceutical, everyone knows now the maximum people who are attending this program, they are the scientific people and different kind of these pharmaceutical company people and teachers. I think mainly on the teachers. So they are teaching to the students. So they will knows very well about pharmacognosy and how we are these plants as well. Plants means whether it is terrestrial or it is marine form, whether it is angiosperm or it is lower group. That means in cryptogams. How we are utilizing the plant resource for the pharmaceutical industries. So that way it is very important. These marine macro algal products are that means the source, marine macro resources are very important for the pharmaceutical companies. So phycocolloid used to describe colloid dried from seaweeds. Then the so these are the phycocolloids are we are getting from the marine macro algae. For example, this Gracilaria is there. So from the Gracilaria we are getting Gracilaria, Giardiella. From these we are getting very good agar-agar products. So first what we have to do is we have to make a protocol. First we have to collect the specimen. So we thoroughly have to wash it. Then we have to dry it properly in the proper moisture. After that what we have to do is we have to put it in the very big vessels, and you have to proper temperature, you have to boil it. Then the the juice is there, no? So that juice we have to carve it and we keep it in the refrigerator. After that, that we have to put it in the sunlight as a strip forming. From that we are getting the agar-agar medium. So agar-agar powder. From that one we are getting the agar-agar powder. You know. So this alginates we are getting from the brown seaweeds. Brown seaweeds means your Pedaina, Sargassum, your Turbineria, Alaria, then your macrosis and all. See, that's very important, economically important brown seaweeds. From that one we are getting alginates and this and alginic acids and all we are getting from this. Then polysaccharide is a carbohydrate that can be decomposed by hydrolysis into 2 or more molecules of monosaccharides, which are in effect and simple sugars. Okay, play a vital role in the broad spectrum of science. These phycochlorides are phycochloride roles in the broad spectrum of the science. Okay, also commercially and economically very important. I already told you how we are getting the agar-agar. These are the strips and this is making the powders and all. So this keratin is over here. So there is a carrageen of the same technology, and we are getting from the Jicatinales, then Soleria, Hypnea, Chandracanthus, then Jicatinales, Euchema, Tapapicus. From this one we are getting a carrageen and powder. These are the red seaweeds. These are economically important and it will be useful for the medicinal purpose also. Printing dye preparation, preparation of condiments, clarification, improvement of the quality of wheat flour, then emulsification, and then other stabilities for the toothpaste and all other things. It will be useful for the this product purpose. Then alginic acids. Alginic acids are derived from the brown seaweeds. These are some important species. And then the macrosis is Andaria, Laminaria, Durvilia, Dictyota, Pedaina, Turbineria, Sargassum, Cystoceria, then Sargassum, then Hermophysa. These are then these in this the Dictyota, Pedaina, Turbineria, Sargassum, Cystoceria, Hermophysa. These are all available in our Indian coastal regions. These some emulsification fillers, then alginates, then ammonium alginates, and some other products we are getting from the these brown seaweeds. The polysaccharides produced seaweeds are reported from India. These are some seaweeds. For example, Gerardia acerosa, Gerardium pusillum, Gracilaria carticata, Gracilaria variety cylindrica, Gracilaria edulis, Gracilaria folifera. Then Gracilaria, very good. These are the agar-agar yielding red seaweeds. The Acanthopora piscifera, agaroid yielding red seaweed. Gratilobia filicina, then agaroid yielding red seaweed. Hypnea muscipamis, Keratina yielding red seaweed. Hypnea valencia, also carrageenan yielding red seaweed. Dictyota dichotoma Pedaina, Boyagisni Pedaina, Povernica Pedaina, Tetrastomatica Sargassum, Cinerarium Sargassum, vulgar, Socosperma marginal. These are alginic acid giving brown seaweeds. These are the peoples they have carried works in this species. Then mannitol, the sea raw material from the extraction of the mannitol or pico. These are some mannitol from where we are getting means Picus laminarian species. Then this Cystoceria, then Pedaina, Sargassum, and Turbinia. These are the species we are getting mannitol. From this species only we are getting the mannitols. And then applied for the production of tablets. That means a different kind of tablets we are getting from this extraction of the seaweeds. Then also useful for making diabetic food, chewing, gum, etc. We are getting from this mannitol, which this mannitol extract from the brown seaweeds. As dusting powder in the paint and varnish industry, leather and paper industry. So this mannitol they are extracting from the brown seaweeds that used to leather and paper industries. Then making explosive, that explosive purpose also we are using this mannitol. Then preparation of pesticides for the production of resins for our leather industries. No, for that purpose we are using all these things. Okay. Then iodine. Iodine also we are getting from the brown seaweeds. In that Diptyota, Pedena, Sargassum, Lobopora, Macrophysa, Laminaria and all. No? So from that we are getting iodine. Good source to meet dietary requirement of iodine. For dietary purpose only, in the iodine only we are using this iodine we are using these products for dietary purpose. Control cure the goiter. That means when we are getting the iodine salt and all, so it will reduce the goiter disease caused by iodine deficiency. Used as a disinfectant. Then silver iodine is used in photography. For photography purpose, this silver iodine used. Then prevent thyroid disease. Then catalyzes animal feed and printing ink and dyes. This and all we are using this iodine. For this purpose we are using iodine. Then protein, but green algae, we are getting a protein from the green algae. Alva lactuca, alva redi, alva lactuca, alva rigida, alva paseata, alva Sinovida, alva, Caulerpa, Scalpelipa, Caulerpa, Taxipolia, Caulerpa, Resimosa, Cladogora, and Bryopsis, Porphyra. Porphyra is red algae. Then Vietnamensis, Centrocerus red algae. So Acanthopora, these are red algae. So the top one, Alva, then Caulerpa, then Cladogora, Bryopsis, these are green algae. Then Porphyra, Centrocerus, Acanthopora, these are the green algae. So from this we are getting very good protein. Then has essential amino acids and iodine containing amino acids. These we are getting from this seaweeds. 60 to 30% of the protein on dry weight. That means if you are having 60 to 30% or 16 to 30% of the dry weight of the protein, the seaweeds, we will get this many percent of protein from the seaweeds. Then growth and maintenance. For this purpose, growth and maintenance purpose also we are using this seaweed products, extracts. And then design energy production, blood clotting purpose also we are using these products. Okay. Then vitamins. So these seaweed vitamins are very, very important, and they are using for different vitamins such as omega-3 fatty acid, vitamin B12, vitamin C, vitamin D, and vitamin G have been reported from chlorophyll members. That means these are all from the literature we have collected, but people are doing regularly the research and they are reporting these seaweeds are giving this type of vitamins. Sargassum microcysis is high and it is more than that present in citrus fruit. Other form of seaweed consumed by human as a salad, seaweed pickle, the seaweed masala, seaweed vapor, seaweed jelly, seaweed jam. So people are using this seaweed as a vitamin, as a direct food for this seaweed pickle, seaweed salad, seaweed masala, seaweed vapor, seaweed jelly, seaweed jam. So that way also they are using seaweed in the food industry. And then animal feed. Already I told you. The animals for this cattle feed and then poultry feed and other dog feed and all. So these are giving very good protein content. That purpose these seaweeds are used for poultry farm and cattle feed. Then seaweed manure and seaweed compost. Seaweed manure and seaweed compost. Already I told you this seaweeds are very big. Giving potential to the farmer, this farming in farming. Seaweed liquid fertilizer (SLF) and seaweed cultivation is livelihood to the coastal villages. These are one type of uses. Because when the coastal villages there are crisis in money as well as food now, so they used to go for seaweed cultivation and they are getting very good profit from the meager investment of the money. Sometimes in every Indian coastal region they are giving 45 days for they are not allowing to fish in the coastal region. So that time what the people they do, they go for the cultivation. And the coastal village humans, that means women people, they used to go for cultivation, and they are getting very good amount in this. That means civil cultivation. So that means the factory is getting very good raw material, and these coastal peoples they are getting very good economy. So that means the civil cultivation is boon to the coastal villages as well as industrial peoples. Seaweed as a biofuel. Already I told this one only. These are some technique, and these are some species for biofuel industries they are using. The seaweed, Alba lactica, because when we are going to the coastal regions after the rainy season, you can collect tons and tons of seaweed, Alba lactica, Alba rigida, Alba fasciata. That time, without investing money, without taking care, we can collect tons and tons of sludges. That means that sludges from the seashore, and you can bring it to the industry, and you can start the this. Biofuel with the technology. Then the Sarconema and the Laminaria, Fucus, Sargassum, Dictyota, Pedaina, Gracilaria, Kapaphyca, Sikima, and all other metals also useful for the extraction of the biofuel. So these and all we have to go for cultivation. Remaining all we have to go for the cultivation. In natural beds, it will not get that much. When we are going for the cultivation, we will get plenty and tons and tons of the raw material. That's why I have separated two list of edible and industrial important seaweeds in India. In Indian coastal region, what are the edible and industrial important seaweeds available? So that I have given over here. Alba compressa, edible, powder, medicinal uses. Alba fasciata, edible, powder, medicinal uses. Alba lactica, edible, powder, medicinal and manure. Alba reticulata, it is edible, medicinal. Alba rigida, that is edible, medicinal. Acrosiphonia orientalis, medicinal value is there, because it is biomass is less. That's why it is only for the medicinal purpose we are calculated so far. Then Bryopsis plumosa, edible, fodder and medicinal and manure. Bryopsis. Okay. Then Caulerpa peltata, edible, fodder, manure, and medicine. Because in the Caulerpindal we are extracting from the Caulerpa species. In Caulerpa racemosa, edible and fodder and chemical purpose also we are using. In Caulerpa citroidis also the same. And this one Caulerpa taxifolia, this and all we get plenty in all our coastal regions. But biomass level in wet biomass will get, but when it is dry now we will get only limited cages of material. Then Dictyota and Logopora, Pedaina and Sargassum and all will get plenty all our coastal regions, and this and all edible purpose, fodder, industrial, manure purpose, we are using this all raw materials. This condition, Sargassum whitey, Turbinaria, Hornata, Porphyra, Coniocomerensis, this is Sargassum, Turbinarias, brown algae, then Porphyra, red algae. This is for edible industrial purposes, because from this Porphyra we will get a more protein rich edible materials we are getting. Then Gelidium micropterum, from that also edible and industrial purpose we are using. Gelidium pusillum, Gelidium acerosa, Gelidium acerosa, these and all we are getting very good industrial agar agar. And quality agar we are getting from, please note down this one, Gelidium acerosa only all over the world we are getting quality agar agar. Gracilaria, Cartier also we are getting agar agar, but it is not that much compared to the Gelidium acerosa. Gracilaria, Polypera also we are getting very good edible as well as industrial purpose. And Gracilaria verrucosa, from that also manure and industrial purpose agar agar we are getting. Then Gratilobia felicina, we are getting edible industrial grade carrageenan. And then Jania, industrial purpose we are using this Jania extract. Then Hypnea musciformis, edible purpose for this carrageenan. For ice cream and all we are using from this Hypnea musciformis, Hypnea valencia. These are cultivating from that extract we are edible getting carrageenan. For that carrageenan used for edible medicinal industrial purpose. Then Acanthopora falciparum, this is edible and industrial purpose we are using. That Acanthopora giving a very good this compound. Then agarite. Then Centroceres clavulatum, this medicinal purpose. But it will give the cancer, cure the cancer disease and all. Then Chondria armata, then medicinal purpose. Then Valorantia, this also medicinal purpose we are using. The potential source for biological activities. Secondary metabolites, also known as allelochemicals, as a defense mechanism against herbivores in the coastal areas. Okay. These compounds are toxic to microorganisms and vertebrates. Mainly occurs between macroalgal community, moving to the availability of limited species space for growth and distribution. Macroalgal compounds for preventing fouling and grazing by herbivores. Suppose if one plant is there, the plant grows very luxuriantly in particular place. In that some other unwanted plants or animals are there, so it will come and foul on the plants. So in that area, some microalgae will grow. It will give the commons. So in that commons, restrict the fouling and grazing the fouling and grazing of the herbivores. Okay. The secondary metabolites response to competition and predation. Then potential lead for the development of pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals, and as antioxidant, anti-mutagens, anti-diabetic, anti-coagulant, antibacterial, and anti-tumor activities. So potential lead for the development of pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals, as a antioxidant, anti-mutagenic, anti-diabetic, anticoagulant, antibacterial, and anti-tumoric activities. So the purpose we are using the seaweed products. For some example, Alba lactica, useful for this therapeutic potential, antimicrobial activity on human pathogenic microorganisms, anti-parasitic and larvicidal activity, antioxidant potential, anticoagulant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-tumor and anti-hyperlipidemic purpose. We are using this Alba lactica extraction. Then Chaetomorpha antenina, that is brown green algae, the therapeutic potential, antimicrobial, antioxidant, anti-cancer activity. Then settle of heavy metals purpose also we are using this extraction. Then Caulerpa taxifolia, therapeutic potential, antioxidant, anti-proliferative and antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer. Then Halimeda offensia, this therapeutic uses, that means name of the compound on the 4-hydroxybenzoic acid. The therapeutic uses antioxidant, anti-proliferative, antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory and anti-cancer. Then this Astroblaria, this I told you single cell organism. You see this plement is a thalloid form, but it is single cell. The entire body is made up of single cell. It is useful for genetic purpose and other medicinal purpose. It gives acetaldehyde. The therapeutic uses antimicrobial, antioxidant, anti-plasmid, used to treat urinary disease and edema. The brown algae, Dictyota dichotoma. This Dictyota dichotoma compound, dictyotiny. The therapeutic uses anti-inflammatory, cardiovascular effects, cytotoxicity, and anti-malarial and antifungal. This is curing purpose. We are using this extracts. Then Pedena tetrastomatica, octonic acid. We are getting octonic acid from the Pedena tetrastomatica. Therapeutic uses antimicrobial, insecticidal, and antioxidants, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, hypoallergenic, and hepatoprotective and anti-diabetic and other purpose also we are using this extract. Then Logopora variegata. From the Logopora variegata, ciprofloxacin compound we are getting, so that chest infections, then skin and bone infection, sexually transmitted disease control, then conjunctival and high infection, air infection, and this menthics and all other purpose we are using this extracts. Then Joneria serenata. So these brown algae, Chloroglucinone. From it, this we are getting a therapeutic from this seaweed that is useful for treat goic as well as sciatic pain of the digestive and biliary tract, and useful for the industrial synthesis of the pharmaceuticals. Industrial synthesis of the pharmaceuticals. The Sargassum polysystem. From Sargassum polysystem, Sargassum arizino sugar we are getting. That means that compound, and used as a allergenics and anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and other immunomodulatory and anticoagulant, hepatoprotective, antiviral, active, etc. is the therapeutic useful for that purpose. Then this red algae, Porphyra crispata. From Porphyra crispata, we are getting the compound porphyrin. So therapeutic uses antioxidant, immunomodulatory, and anti-cancer, anticoagulant. Then Leiogora cernoides. Leiogora cernoides red algae. Then the 4-hydroxybenzoic acid. So therapeutic uses anti-tumor, antioxidant, antimicrobial. Then this is one more resident. Hello. So you are getting my voice?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are getting your voice.
So it's okay. Shall I continue?
Yes, sir. You can continue.
Okay. The Gerardia aerosols, already I told you, that is very important seaweed material. For agar purpose, we are using this seaweed material. The compound is agar. Therapeutic uses used to treat, because here it is in medicinal value. I am telling that agar is for the other biotechnology purpose and other purpose we are using. But here this agar is used for the treat constipation, anti-inflammatory, anti-tumor, antioxidant, antimicrobial purpose. In agar is used for the biotechnology and this molecular study and purpose, and all we are using it for laboratory purpose. Capapicus alvarezi. Capapicus alvarezi we are cultivating in all over Indian coastal region, mainly Gujarat coastal region, Dayu Daman, then Kerala, Karnataka, and then here in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh. We are cultivating, and we are getting tons and tons of raw material. From this we are carrageenan. We are getting the compound, and carrageenan is used for coughs and bronchitis and tuberculosis and intestinal problems. Purpose we are using this extracts. Then harmless mania, subject to in the field of medicine. Harmless mania subject to in the medicinal field. How we are using the seaweeds in harmless mania in the medicinal field? Extract of the brown seaweeds, gallbladders, pancreas and kidney, uterus and thyroid glands. The seaweed extracts useful for this purpose. So all this Cladobora species, for this purpose we are using. That means bacterium also, mycobacterium also used as a surgical tool for washing the surgical tool, and all we can use this Cladobora species extract. That means that chemicals, that laminaria species on the treatment of cancer and abortion, and surgical tool in the operation and operation theatre and washing the wounds also. These laminarian products we are using. Acetobularia, genetical purpose we are using. Then that means everyone knows this is a single cell product, algae. So genetical purpose you can use it, this material, and cytogenetic study also we can use it. the sargassum species, Sargassum pedaina, like this Dictyota, the various white medicine purposes. That means iodine medicines, preparation of iodine preparation purposes. We are using this seaweed byproducts. Coral. Hello. Hello.
Sir, we can hear you, sir.
Okay. Sargassum species. Then this Gelidium, Gracilaria, Gerodeoxys. This means kidney, bladder, and lung. This is the purpose we are using these plant products. Then Halwa species glandular tubulars. Glandular tubulars purpose you are using this Halwa species. Then Calaspa species anti-obesity purpose we are using this Calaspa species. Sargassum Dictyota pedaina, reducing the accumulation of fat and other purpose we are using this anti-diabetic and all purpose we are using this seaweeds. Then see, these are some seaweeds you know very well, seaweed medicines compared to me, you people knows very well. These are some seaweed medicines. We are obitic back. That is some other kelp seaweeds, sugar coated tablets. These are all available in market nowadays, all over the worldwide. These are seaweed products for your cosmetic purpose and other preservative purpose and meat preparative purpose. We are getting the seaweed products. And the antimicrobial activity of seaweeds. These are the people who carried out the work, and these are the seaweeds useful for this purpose. And for example, Alba Passeata, organism, which are the organism controlled by this seaweed Alba Passeata. This Candida and Streptococcus, Staphylococcus, these and all other. These are the organisms, this microorganism controlled by Alba Passeata extracts. This research conducted by the reference author. So like this, so many pieces are there: Alba Passeata, Alba compressa, Alba lenza, then this Alba intestinalis, Alba lactuca, and then Gelidiella acerosa, Gelidiella corticata, then Caulerpa racemosa, Caulerpa scalpelliformis, and Dictyota dichotoma, Xenia. These are the species our Indian peoples or foreign peoples they are using for preparing medicinal and research purpose. These are other species available in our Indian coastal regions for the pharmaceutical and industrial purpose. They are using these species and curing this type of microorganisms. Anti-cancer, anti-tumor, anti-proliferative and cytotoxicity. Marine algae are one of the natural resources in the marine ecosystem. They contain thousands of compounds which have been used in the pharmaceutical industry as the potential of antiviral, antibacterial, anti-fungal, anti-cancer, anti-tumor, anti-proliferative and anti-toxicity. And Gracilaria corticata and Alba Passeata have high apoptotic capability against 5 cancer cell line. So just this is the technical term of the your disease, and this Gracilaria corticata and Alba Passeata. These two seaweed organisms used for curing this disease. 78 to 95, 78 to 87% it is curable. Anti-cancer, anti-tumor, anti-proliferative. These are other species: Alba intestinalis, Rhizochlorium, Alba lactuca, Xenia rubens, Hypnea musciformis. Then the cell line purpose and a significant effect and a reference. These are the people they carried out their work. This in their laboratories, and they have published papers. So when you are go through all these papers, so you will get more knowledge on these seaweeds, what purpose they are using, and they use it and all. You will come to know. So here I have all this collected from the reference literatures only. So that's why I am one by one I am showing, but I am not fully deep into that. Just I have collected all these things, and it will be useful for you. So that's why just I am eye-opening. These are the species available our Indian coastal regions. It will be useful for this purpose. So you can further go and collect, and you can continue this work, and it will be useful for the public. So that's why just I am eye-opening, and I am giving just one flash to you people, and you can do further and further. So it will be useful for you. Then anti-accident activity. Seaweed are known to be a rich source of anti-accident compound and play an important role in prevention of damages. In seaweeds, anti-accident properties have been correlated to their higher phenolic content. In seaweeds, anti-accident preparation have been correlated to their phenolic content. Antioxidant value vary from 10.9% in Chaetomorpha species to 84.9% Pedaena boyagisni, using different extract. For example, when this green seaweed Chaetomorpha, it gives 10.9%. When you are coming to the brown algae Pedaena boyagisni, so it will give 84.9% of this extract. So that means this antioxidant. So that means compared to the green algae, this brown algae will give a very good antioxidant. So that's why just for a flash I am giving all these things, so you can go deep and you can do your research, and you'll get very good compounds from the omitted marine macroalgae. Antioxidant properties. So these are antioxidant properties. Already told you the mannitol. So we are extracting mannitol from the Chaetomorpha antenina, Chaetomorpha linum, Chaetomorpha area, Chaetomorpha ficogun, and Chaetomorpha crassa, Chaetomorpha scalpelliformis, Melaniopsis peconima, Bryopsis sperm. These all species are available our Indian coastal region. When you are going to the Gulf of Mannar, when you are going to the Gulf of Kutch, or India, this Gulf of this Gujarat, this Gujarat coastal region, or Tamil Nadu coastal region, or this your Kerala or Pondicherry, this Pondicherry, that area now will get all the species, and you will get a very good mannitol, and you can use this one for the medicinal purpose. The name of the algae, other algae, Pedaena bowanica, Dictyoteris australis, Dictyota dichotoma, Pedaena boyagisni, Pedaena tetrachromatica, Tokiospermum marginatum, Sargassum, Whitey, Conospora minima, Jania rubens, Ampirova pregillissima, Gracilaria udilis, Gracilaria corticata, Hypnea musciformis. We are getting mannitol, ethanol, methanol, and other products we are getting from this type of seaweeds. These are the contents value available in that. For example, when you are Ampirova fragilissima, if you are collecting and if you are extracting ethanol acetate, 64% we are getting. Just imagine, from the seaweeds without any investment, we will get the Ampirova fragilissima. This is a calcareous algae. We are getting Jania rubens, Ampirova fragilissima. These are calcareous algae. So we will get very good methanol, ethanol, and all we will get from this type of seaweed. These are red seaweeds, Jania rubens, Ampirova, Gracilaria, Gracilaria, and Hypnea musciformis. These and all. This typographical error is there, so that's why this Gracilaria corticata only, not this one. So this and all useful for the extraction of the methanol and ethanol. Then seaweed as pesticides. Then Alba intestinalis, Chaetomorpha linum, Pennata, then Sargassum vulgare and Gracilaria edulis. These are all useful for the extraction of the pesticides. Pesticides are also useful for the different ways for the agriculture, as well as killing of unwanted things for the in the surrounding areas of the environment. So for some other industries, for institution of drug research on seaweeds in all over India, what are the industries? Institutions are there in drug research. Name of the research organization, field of research for Adyar Cancer Institute, Chennai. The cancer immunotherapy. For that purpose, they are using this seaweed raw materials. National Institute of Virology, Pune, Maharashtra. They are using seaweed raw materials or seaweed products for this their research purpose. Center for DNA fingerprinting and diagnostic, Hyderabad, Andhra Pradesh. They are using seaweed products for computation biology, bioinformatics. This purpose they are using this seaweed products. Then Central Institute of Medicinal and Aromatic Plants, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh. So this they are using this seaweed products for their complete products. The National Botanical Research Institute, Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, they are also using seaweed. This one. Then Central Drug Research in Lucknow, they are also using this seaweed raw material as a raw material for their drug production purpose. Then Indian Institute of Toxicology Research in Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh, they are also using seaweed as a raw material for preparation of toxicology and environmental toxicology, nanotechnological science and all other things. They are using these seaweed products. Then National Institute of Immunology and in Delhi, these people are using seaweed materials for their research purpose. Then Rajiv Gandhi Center for Biotechnology, Trivandrum, they are using seaweed products for their research purpose. National Institute of Nutrition, Hyderabad. So these people also they are using seaweed products for their research purpose. Center of Advanced Study in Department of Banaras Hindu University, they are also using seaweed products, seaweed material for their research purpose. Important lab of seaweed research on drugs. So the Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, CCMB, Hyderabad, Central Drug Research Institute, Lucknow, Central Electrochemical Research Institute, Karaikal, CC, and Central Food Technology Research, CFTRI, Mysore, then Central Fuel Research Institute, CFRI, then Dhanbad, Central Institute of Medicine and Aromatic Plants, CMAP, Lucknow, and the Central Salt and Marine and Chemical Research Institute, Bhavnagar, CSM Sharai Mandapam, research station also in Mandapam also it is available. Indian Institute of Chemical Biology, ISCB, Kolkata, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, ISCT, Hyderabad, Indian Institute of Petroleum, IIP, Dehradun, National Institute of Ocean Technology, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and National Center for Antarctic and Ocean Research. Now it is National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, Vasco da Gama. NCO, that so these purpose these are the institutions involved in the seaweed research, and Botanical Survey of India involved for the seaweed collection, identification, and making flora also. So in that way we are helpful to the public and researchers and all other ways. Then threat to the seaweeds. When threats comes, we will not get a proper biomass. That's why the threat study also very important. So once the threat is there, how to control the threat and what are the threatening pollutions and the threat and all that. So that also we have to know for this study purpose. Then the cultivation methods. For get the good biomass of seaweeds, we have to go for long line rope method, single rope floating raft method, and vegetative propagation method, fixed off bottom cultivation, and floating raft cage cultivation method, greenhouse method, and tissue culture method. This greenhouse cultivation method and tissue culture method will give a without disease-free products. With that, we can get a very good quality of your raw materials. Remaining all will get a very good materials, but here tissue culture, the greenhouse cultivation, so that will give a disease-free products. So from that we will get a very good products. Then long line rope method, this type of only we are cultivating. Then these are the products. That means we are after cultivation we will get this type of biomass. Then this is fixed bottom. So the bottom also we will cultivate, and we are getting the very good biomass. These are we are giving the meager amount, and we are getting a very good profit, and we are getting raw material, good raw material. This is the greenhouse, and it is in a laboratory only we are cultivating. There is no any hindrance, there is no any disease. So we will get a free disease material, and we will get a very good raw material, and byproducts also very good. So that we can use it for the your pharmaceutical companies and medical companies and all other purposes. So this is a tissue, this is our greenhouse cultivation method, how we are doing. So any queries you are having, please ask your queries. Hello, you can ask now queries up to here only. So if you are having any queries, you can ask.
Thank you for the informative session, sir. From this session, we came to know the role of BSI and the different species of seaweeds around the Indian coastal region. By using the seaweed biodiversity, researchers will benefit by bioprospecting new drug candidates from seaweeds that can be a lead molecule to treat the diseases. Now the participants can ask the questions.
Hello, hello, you are getting voice? Hello,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
if any queries there,
Dear participants, if you have any queries, you can ask.
you see, actually, BSc is a primary institution for the taxonomical studies, mainly taxonomy and conservation. But here I have, this is my specialization, marine macro algae. So that for collection, identification and preparation of flora. So that way I am familiar. For this byproducts and all, I am learning with your reference only. So if you are giving your suggestions, I can give in future better than this. So that's why if you have any queries there, please you can openly you can talk and I will give answer. If otherwise, you can also give and I can update my knowledge in this field. For taxonomies, there is no problem, and all over India, what are the things available, each and every place I can say, this plant, this particular place only available, that and all I am familiar, I am number one. But in the product wise, you have to tell whether this is right or wrong. Then how many pieces are available in particular area and all, I will give the full-fledged picture. And biomass wise also, I will give the full-fledged picture. But the product wise, you have to give. You have to tell. And your people has to do the further research in particular areas.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can also mail to sir and you can ask the questions. Sir, there is a question from
Yeah,
Akash.
please. Yeah.
From Akash. Is there any recent drug which is obtained from seaweed and also its dosage forms?
What, madam?
Is there any recent drugs which is obtained from seaweed and also its dosage forms?
I have given lot of information, sir, for sweet coated seaweed drugs, for goiter killing, this one, and for your sugar free, and for this your cancer killing purpose, and all of they are using this one. But I am not doing the things, but lot of reference are there, so that one only I quoted here. Okay.
If you have any questions you can mail to sir. Now we are in the end of our session. On behalf of Dr. NGP Arts and Science College and Atal FTP Organizing Committee, I thank the chief guest and all the participants for attending the session. Dear participants, kindly join for our tomorrow session by Dr. V. Gopal at 9:30 a.m. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thanks for giving this opportunity. I have to thank NGP College, Arts and Science College, as well as Biotechnology Department faculty members and all the participants who are patiently listen my lecture. So I thank to one and all. If you are giving your feedback, so when you are getting the feedback from the participant, madam, if you are sending to me, so I can improve my lecture in future. So that is very important.
Sir, we will share you the feedback, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity. I am very happy with you peoples for the faculty improvement program. So it's very nice because here I think most of the peoples are all very excellent peoples and they are all teaching community and they are daily teaching to the public. So that means the students. We are researchers. We are not exposing that much. So here we got a platform to expose our research, what we are doing and what is the useful for the seaweeds and all. So I exposed to the this faculty program improvement faculty peoples. So this is my this one, and thanks to each and everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
டைம் கரெக்டா நம்மளும் அந்த நிறைய இது கொடுக்கலைங்க சார் கடைசியில் கரெக்டா அதை நான் பார்த்தேங்க சார்.
Okay.
நாங்க அப்சர்வ் பண்ணிட்டோம் கரெக்டா வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா 45 மினிட்ஸ்க்கு இந்த டாக் எடுத்துட்டீங்க.